The eyes open. For a moment, there is only the dark and the silence of the room. This is the most honest moment of the day. The world has not yet intruded with its demands, its noise, or its endless parade of trivialities. There is only you, the returning consciousness, and the choice that defines your existence. The body is warm. The blankets are heavy and soft. The impulse to remain where you are is primal. It is a seduction of comfort, a whisper that suggests 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes. An hour more of oblivion will offer you some relief from the burden of living. You feel the weight of the day before it has even begun. You anticipate the fatigue, the conversations, the conflicts, and the sheer effort required to navigate the hours ahead. The mind recoils. It seeks the safety of the unconscious. But you must look at this impulse with the cold light of reason. What is this reluctance? It is a rejection of your nature. You were not created to lie under sheets and keep yourself warm. You were born to work, to perceive, to act, and to contribute to the order of the world. Observe the plants, the birds, the ants, the spiders, and the bees. They begin their tasks as soon as the light permits, playing their specific part in the cosmos without complaint or hesitation. Do you, a rational being capable of understanding the structure of the universe, have less discipline than an insect? To argue for the warmth of the bed is to argue against your own life. It is to say that you prefer the sensation of softness over the duty of being human. Rise, do not negotiate. Do not barter with yourself. The moment you begin a dialogue with your own laziness, you have already lost your footing. The dialogue itself is the error. There is no decision to be made, only a reality to be acknowledged. You are awake, therefore you must rise. The body will complain, let it complain. The body is a vessel, a servant, not the master of the house. It does not dictate the schedule of the soul. As your feet touch the floor, you enter the second phase of the morning. This is not a time for rushing. It is not a time to immediately check the devices that tether you to the opinions and anxieties of 1,000 strangers. To flood your mind with the chaos of the world before you have fortified your own reason is an act of self-destruction. It is poisoning the well before you have drawn a single drink. Stand in the quiet. This silence is a tool. It is the blank canvas upon which you will test your impressions. Most people view the morning routine as a mechanism for efficiency. They seek to optimize their actions to achieve more, to earn more, to consume more. They drink stimulants to force the body into submission. They read headlines to fuel their outrage or their fear. They rush to the gym to sculpt a body that will eventually decay solely for the admiration of others. This is not the way of the philosopher. Your morning is not a preparation for productivity. It is a preparation for sanity. Wash your body not just to be clean, but to remind yourself of the simplicity of necessity. Eat simply, if you eat at all, regarding food as fuel for the machine, not a source of pleasure or distraction. In these small mechanical actions, practice being entirely present. If you are washing your face, be the person washing their face. Do not be the person arguing with a colleague in a meeting that has not yet happened. Do not be the person replaying the regret of yesterday. Those moments do not exist. Only this action, this water, this sensation exists. If you cannot master your mind in the safety of your own bathroom, how do you expect to master it in the heat of a crisis? Now, before the sun has fully risen, you must perform the most critical work. You must sit with yourself and look the day in the face. This is not a visualization of success. We do not sit and imagine everything going perfectly. We do not indulge in fantasies where the world bends to our will, where traffic flows smoothly, where people are kind, and where we are praised for our efforts. Such fantasies are the seeds of anger. When you expect the world to be gentle, you feel betrayed when it is harsh. When you expect people to be reasonable, you feel resentful when they are ignorant. Instead, you must anticipate reality. Tell yourself, today I will meet people who are meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. I will encounter delays. I will witness injustice. I will feel the pang of physical discomfort. I may receive bad news. My plans may be thwarted by the incompetence of others or the indifference of nature. Visualize these things not with fear, but with the steady gaze of a scientist observing a chemical reaction. Why will you meet such people? Because they cannot distinguish good from evil. They mistake wealth, status, and pleasure for good, and they mistake poverty, obscurity, and pain for evil. They are confused. They are acting according to their flawed judgment. But you know the nature of the good. You know that the only true good lies in your own character, in your choices, in your capacity to reason. Because you know this, nothing they do can harm you. Their arrogance cannot touch your soul. Their dishonesty cannot corrupt your integrity unless you choose to join them in the mud. You were born to work together with them, like two hands, two eyelids, or the two rows of teeth. To work against them is unnatural, and to be angry with them is to work against them. See the day as a landscape of challenges. The traffic is not an obstacle to your happiness. It is an opportunity to practice patience. The difficult boss is not a tyrant. They are a training partner for your endurance. The failure of a project is not a tragedy. It is a lesson in detachment. By predicting these difficulties, you rob them of their power. The shock of the unexpected is what overthrows the mind. When you have already walked through the fire in your thoughts, the heat of the real fire will not burn you. You have already accepted it. You have already agreed to the terms of existence. As you sit in the growing light, consider the things you hold dear: your status, your possessions, your relationships, your health. Understand that none of these belong to you. They are on loan from fortune. The universe has granted you custody of them for a time, but it has not granted you ownership. Today might be the day the loan is called in. If you lose money today, you have returned it to its source. If you lose reputation, you have returned it. Even your loved ones are mortal. To love them is to love something that must eventually leave. This sounds harsh to the weak mind, but to the rational mind, it is the source of profound freedom. If you do not cling, you cannot be ripped apart. If you hold these things loosely, like a traveler holding a cup of water, you can enjoy them while they are here without the desperate terror of their loss. This is the armor you forge in the morning. You are not putting on a mask of happiness. You are putting on the breastplate of acceptance. You are telling yourself, I will do what is within my power with absolute excellence, and I will accept whatever the result is with absolute calm. This distinction is the only thing that matters. The arrow you shoot is your concern. Whether it hits the target is the concern of the wind and the distance. You control the intention, the effort, and the technique. You do not control the outcome. Most of the anxiety you feel, the tightening in the chest as you think about the day's tasks, comes from trying to control the target. You want the deal to close. You want the praise. You want the silence. Let go of the target. Focus on the bow. As the sun rises, the world begins to wake up around you. The noise begins. The notifications start. The demands arrive. But you are different now. You are not reacting blindly. You have established a fortress within yourself. You know what is yours and what is not yours. You step out of the door not as a victim of circumstance, but as an active participant in the cosmos. You are ready to turn every obstacle into fuel for the fire of your character. The morning has served its purpose. It has woken not just the body, but the ruling faculty of the mind. You are awake. Now you must remain awake. The transition from the sanctuary of the morning to the battlefield of the day is often where the mind falters. It is easy to be a philosopher in an empty room. It is easy to hold high ideals when no one is contradicting you, when no urgency presses against your chest, when the temperature is controlled and the silence is unbroken. But philosophy is not a robe to be worn only in the study. It is the skin of your life. It must remain intact when the arrows begin to fly. Consider the moment you cross the threshold of your home. The protected environment is gone. You are entering the domain of variables you cannot control. The first test often arrives immediately. Perhaps the car does not start. Perhaps the weather is foul. Perhaps you are late. Watch your mind. Watch it instantly. Try to label these events as bad. Watch the reflex to complain, to tighten your jaw, to curse the sky. This is the first betrayal of your morning preparation. Pause. Correct the judgment. The car not starting is a mechanical fact. It is metal and plastic obeying the laws of physics. It is not a personal attack. It is not a conspiracy against your schedule. It is an event. The rain is water falling from clouds. It is necessary for the earth. That it makes you wet or slows your commute is indifferent to the nature of the rain. If you become angry at the car or the rain, you are like a madman shouting at a stone for being hard. You are demanding that reality adapt to your wishes, rather than adapting your wishes to reality. Say to yourself, I desire to drive to work, but I also desire to keep my will in harmony with nature. The car has failed, but my will need not fail. This is the discipline of the morning carried into action. It is the refusal to add subjective judgment to objective facts. The event itself is bearable. It is your opinion of the event that crushes you. Remove the opinion, this is a disaster, and you are left only with the fact, I must find another way to travel. One is a tragedy, the other is a task. As you engage with your work, your craft, or your duties, the morning's resolve faces a different kind of erosion, the seduction of the future. You will find your mind drifting toward the result of your labor. You want to finish the project so you can relax. You want to get through the meeting so you can eat lunch. You are constantly leaning forward, living in the next hour, the next day, the next weekend. This is a form of dying. To live in the future is to refuse to live now. The Stoic approach to work is absolute immersion in the present action. If you are writing, write. If you are building, build. If you are listening, listen. Do not perform the task as a means to an end. Perform it as an act of worship to the capability you have been given. Excellence is not an accident. It is a habit of attention. When you rush through a task to get it over with, you are treating a portion of your life as an obstacle. You are wishing away your own time. Why would you wish to shorten your existence? Love the task because it is the task in front of you. It is what the universe has presented. To reject it or to do it poorly out of haste is to reject your role in the great whole. Even if the task is menial, even if it seems beneath your dignity. No honest work is beneath human dignity. What is beneath dignity is to complain, to shirk, or to perform half-heartedly. A floor swept with pride and precision is a nobler achievement than a kingdom ruled with negligence. Then comes the challenge of other people. The morning preparation warned you of them, but their actual presence is visceral. They will interrupt you. They will misunderstand you. They will try to pull you into their dramas and their anxieties. You will see a colleague panicked over a deadline. Their fear is contagious. It triggers a biological response in you. You feel their stress becoming your stress. Stop. Remember the boundary. That is their judgment of the situation, not yours. They are panicked because they believe something terrible will happen if they are late. They have attached their well-being to an external outcome. You need not do the same. You can offer help. You can offer a solution. You can be useful. But you must not accept the infection of their emotion. Remain a rock against which their waves break. They do not need you to join them in the drowning waters of anxiety. They need you to stand on the dry ground of reason and pull them up. Your calm is the greatest service you can offer them. It is not indifference, it is stability. There will be moments of failure. You will snap, you will judge, you will desire something you cannot have. You will feel the flash of anger when cut off in traffic or the sink of dread when an email arrives. Do not waste time guilt-tripping yourself. The Stoic does not wallow in self-pity over mistakes. Self-pity is just another form of ego. It is thinking you are so important that your errors are tragic. They are not tragic. They are human. Catch yourself. Acknowledge the slip. I lost my reason there. I mistook an external for a good, then immediately return to the center. Reset. The day is a series of fresh starts. You do not need to wait for tomorrow morning to begin again. You can begin again in the very next breath. The morning routine is not a magical spell that protects you from the world. It is simply the tuning of the instrument. But the instrument must be played in the chaos of the orchestra. If you go out of tune, you pause, you adjust, and you play on. As the sun climbs higher and the complexity of the day increases, you must keep returning to the simple, grounding question: what is up to me? The noise of the office is not up to you. The mood of your spouse is not up to you. The state of the economy is not up to you. The aging of your body is not up to you. Your focus is up to you. Your integrity is up to you. Your kindness is up to you. Your endurance is up to you. Guard these jealously. They are your only true possessions. Everything else is scenery. When you find yourself exhausted, feeling the weight of the afternoon, it is usually because you have been trying to carry the scenery. You have been trying to carry the opinions of others, the events of the past, and the uncertainties of the future. Put them down. They are too heavy for any human back. Carry only what is yours, your reasoned choice in this precise moment. That load is light. That load is bearable. The day continues. The shadows shorten and then lengthen again. You move through the hours not as a leaf blown by the wind, but as a ship cutting through the waves. The waves move the ship, yes, but the rudder is in your hand, and that is enough. Midday arrives. The initial clarity of the dawn has likely faded, obscured by the dust of activity. This is the time when fatigue begins to whisper its seduction again, different from the morning's desire for sleep, but equally dangerous. This fatigue is a weariness of the will. It is the voice that says, I have been disciplined enough for today. Now I deserve a reward. Now I can slacken the reins. Be vigilant. This is the moment the guard falls asleep at the gates. The modern world offers infinite ways to numb this weariness. Sugary food, mindless scrolling, gossip, complaints. These are not rest, they are anesthesia. They do not restore the mind, they cloud it. When you feel the urge to escape the pressure of the day, do not turn to distraction, turn inward. Take a moment of retreat. You do not need a mountaintop or a seaside villa to find peace. These are external settings, and if your mind is chaotic, the silence of a mountain will only amplify the noise in your head. The true retreat is always available to you. It is the fortress of your own soul. Close your eyes for a minute. Withdraw from the sensory overload. Remind yourself of the vastness of time. Think of the millions of days that have passed before this one, and the millions that will follow. Think of the billions of humans who have stood exactly where you stand, struggling with the same frustrations, the same petty annoyances, the same fears. They are gone. Their anxieties are dust. Their triumphs are forgotten. This perspective is not meant to depress you. It is meant to liberate you. If this moment is so fleeting, why does it trouble you so deeply? If your life is a mere spark in the infinite dark, why waste it in irritation? View your life from above. See yourself sitting in your room or your office. Pull back to see the building, the city, the nation, the turning earth. See the wars, the births, the deaths, the storms, the silent growth of forests. In the context of the whole, your missed deadline or your awkward conversation is nothing. It is a grain of sand. Return to your body. Return to the task. You are small, but you are a part of the logos, the rational order of the universe. Your role is small, but it is essential. To play it well is the only success that exists. As the afternoon wears on, you may face the gap between your expectations and reality. You plan to finish 3 tasks. You have finished 1. You expected a resolution. You found more complexity. The untrained mind spirals into frustration. It creates a narrative of failure. I am not good enough. I am behind. I will never catch up. The Stoic mind looks at the facts. I did not finish the 3 tasks. I finished 1. This is the reality. There is no behind. There is only where you are. Behind is a comparison to a fantasy schedule that does not exist. You are exactly where reality has placed you. If you were meant to be further ahead, you would be. Accept the state of affairs without judgment. If more work is required, do the work. If the day is ending, accept that it is ending. Anxiety is the friction caused by your mind trying to be in a time other than now. It is trying to be at 5 p.m. when it is 2 p.m. It is trying to be at the finish line while you are still running the race. Eliminate the friction. Be at 2 p.m. Be in the middle of the race. That is where your power is. Consider also the nature of your desires as the day progresses. You see things you want, a better car, a more attractive partner, a higher position. You see people who seem to have these things, and you feel the sting of envy. Analyze what you are envying. You are envying a surface. You see their shiny exterior, but you do not see the master they serve. The person with the high position is often a slave to public opinion, terrified of making a wrong move. The person with the wealth is often a slave to the fear of losing it or the endless hunger for more. Do not trade your freedom for their golden chains. You have something more valuable than any external prize. You have the capacity to be content with what is sufficient. If you are thirsty, water is a delight. If you are not thirsty, the finest wine is a burden. Happiness depends on the alignment of desire and reality. You have the power to align them instantly, not by changing reality, but by changing your desire. Desire only to be a good person. Desire only to act with reason and justice. If you desire this, you can never be thwarted. No one can stop you from being kind. No one can stop you from being honest. No one can stop you from being brave. These are the only things worth wanting because they are the only things that are truly yours. As the sun begins to set, the energy of the world shifts. The aggressive drive of the morning and midday gives way to the consequences of the day's actions. You return to your home. This transition is as critical as the morning rising. Many people drag the corpse of the workday into their evening. They carry the stress, the anger, and the unsolved problems through the door. They pollute their sanctuary with the waste of the marketplace. You must perform a rite of separation. Before you enter your home, pause. Review the day briefly. What happened? It is done. The meetings are over. The emails are sent or unsent. The conflicts are past. You cannot rewrite the last 10 hours. They have been written into the history of the universe, as unchangeable as the sacking of Troy. Leave them outside. Enter your home as a free person. Do not make your family or your solitude pay the price for your professional burdens. To be present with a meal, with a book, with a loved one, requires the same discipline as the morning silence. If you are eating, just eat. Taste the food. It is a gift of nature. If you are with someone, look at them. Remember they are mortal. This evening could be the last time you speak to them. Does that sound morbid? It is the truth. And because it is the truth, it makes the moment sacred. If you treat every conversation as a potential farewell, you will never be distracted. You will never be petty. You will listen with a fullness of heart that the unaware cannot imagine. The evening is for the restoration of the body, but also for the examination of the soul. Do not numb yourself with screens until you pass out. That is not sleep. That is a coma. Instead, review your conduct. This is the Stoic accounting. Ask yourself, where did I act according to nature today? Where did I let my reason fail? Where did I let fear dictate my actions? What can I do better tomorrow? Do not do this to punish yourself. A judge does not weep over the law. He applies it. Be an impartial judge of your own life. I lost my temper at noon. Why? Because I valued my ego more than my peace. Tomorrow I will value my peace more. This objective review closes the loop. It processes the impressions of the day so they do not fester in your subconscious. You learn the lesson, and then you discard the memory of the error. You keep the wisdom and throw away the guilt. Finally, you return to the darkness. The circle is complete. You lie down. You are back where you started, but you are not the same. You have lived a day. You have practiced the art of being human. As you close your eyes, practice the ultimate acceptance. Sleep is the brother of death. It is a surrender of control. You cannot force sleep, just as you cannot force life. You must let go. Accept that you may not wake up. The world will continue without you. The sun will rise, the birds will sing, the work will go on. This is not a tragedy. It is the order of things. You are a wave returning to the ocean. If you wake again, it is a bonus. It is a gift you did not earn and do not own. It is another opportunity to play your part. But for now, there is nothing to be done. The past is stone. The future is smoke. You have only this breath, and then the next. Peace comes from holding only what belongs to you and releasing what never did.